Hi, it's Noelle CoStar here with Knowellness.com, and today we are going to be doing some full moon readings. So I am so excited to share with you, and I hope that you can like or subscribe or share this video. You know, if you have a friend that could use some clarity and guidance right now in their life, go ahead and share this video. My favorite time of the month to do readings is the full moon. It started for me back in the day. You know, I've always kind of been really connected to the moon, like we all are, but I was extremely nocturnal as a child. And when I started with tarot cards, it always seemed natural for me to be reading with the cycles of the moon, for the new moon, for the full moon. And so I encourage you, if you are in your process of being a tarot reader or using the tarot for your own study and your own spiritual development, the full moon is a perfect time to do that. The full moon in Virgo is going to illuminate for us some of the places in our health and well-being that we might need to be aware of or change or make decisions about. The other thing that the full moon in Virgo will do is illuminate things about our sexual nature and our spirituality. Where are we leaning into spiritual growth? And so I did ask about that for these readings today. And the other thing I asked about is what we need to take off of the to-do list. Because Virgo energy is very earth-oriented and very practical. And so it's full of lists, it's full of to-dos, it's full of needing to get those check marks and scratches off. And so I asked, what needs to come off the list? What can you really let go of off of that? So it can be one less thing to worry about during this time. And then lastly, I did throw in an oracle card because I wanted to find out, hey, what message from spirit, what message from your spirit guide would most benefit you right now? So I want you to go ahead and choose 1, 2, or 3. And, like I said before, if you are in your journey anywhere with tarot and you feel like you'd like some support, I would love for you to go to thetarottribe.com, all one word, thetarottribe.com. And over there, I put together a bunch of free resources for you. So there's going to be a checklist to make sure you're going through giving a tarot reading in an orderly, proper fashion, covering all the bases. There's a guide on there to help you be able to deliver a reading that's insightful without getting in your book every 5 seconds. There's a video tutorial, and also I even included audio meditation to get you in alignment to be able to do readings. And all of that is completely free. All you have to do is go on over to thetarottribe.com, put your name and email in, and you can have all of that to start really helping you move along in your journey, wherever you are. Hopefully it can support you in that. And so let's go ahead and get started. This is the final call for choosing your number. You can choose 1, 2, or 3. Now, don't get crazy and overthink it. Just ask, check in with yourself. Take a deep breath. What number feels right for me? What do I most need to know right now? Choose it. And please type it in the comments, because what happens, I haven't looked at these cards yet. I never look at the cards. I like this reading to be live and channeled. And so what it does when you comment and when you are calling forth, it makes the universe shift and change and allows me to channel more specific information for everybody that's going to pick a number 1, 2, or 3 from this reading, from everybody who's going to see this set of cards. Okay, so if you picked number 1, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So, all right, so first card we got here is the Six of Swords. And before I get started, let me just say I am reading out of the Wheel of the Year deck. And unfortunately, I lost the box for this deck a long time ago, and I'm not sure who it's by, but it's called the Wheel of the Year, and it's one of my most favorite decks. Okay, so you, number one, you got the Six of Swords here, okay? And so one of the things that's important for you to know is that for your health and well-being, you know, there's things right now that you really have to start moving away from. And it's important that you're doing this work in your mind, because that's really going to shift you into having better emotions. Okay, because a lot of the work that needs to take place is mental for you, where you're choosing thoughts and you're choosing new ways of being so that it feels better. Okay, and I also, you know, it feels very much like if you decide in the next month, in the next 3 weeks, to take a trip or to be somewhere that you are waterside, where it's at the beach, it's at a lake, it's with some sort of water involved, it feels like it's going to be very nourishing for your spirit, and you're going to have emotional release that's going to really help you embrace some of the new ways of being that you are desiring, because it feels like you really want some change. And this is the other card we got here. And so this is one of the things that I asked about taking off your to-do list. And so, you know, this makes me feel very much like you are such a busybody when it comes to taking care of so many things. You're very independent. And so, you know, you feel like you handle everything at the best level. And, you know, maybe there's a little bit of control in there too, but it feels to me very much like one of the things that you can scratch off right now is just worrying too much about money, worrying too much about how to figure it all out, how to make sure that you're independent. It feels like your independence, like you got all that under control. That's not something that you need to be your worry right now. It's more like shifting into opening up other channels, allowing more joy to flow in. And so let me show you the two cards again side by side. And like I said, it feels very much like getting to the water. And if you're in a place where you can't get to the water, you know, this might be like you should plan a vacation, or you should try in some way, because it feels to me like the worker in you needs a break so that you can grow and develop. And it feels like I said, there's changes that want to be made. And so you'll have a much easier time staying in a new state of mind and being in this prosperous state if you take time to allow yourself to have fun, to enjoy the view, to ride on the rapids, you know, like be in the joy of life, not planning the joy of life, not thinking about the joy of life, not like doing all the things that need to be productive to make the joy happen. But when you get there, it's time to be in the joy. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is your message from Spirit, and this deck is called the Spirit Animal Oracle, and this is by Jody Bergsma. And I just love this deck. It's one of my new favorite decks. And here we've got these sea turtles. Now, one of the things is for sure with turtles is they carry their home on their back, but they can, you know, go into their shell if they need to. So it says here, you are the master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. All right, let's even look it up here and see if there's any additional things that stick out to me for you. Yeah, one of the things about turtles is slow and steady, they're sure to win the race, right? So one of the things here is it's important to be at the beaches of the world. So make sure that you are really, this to me feels super important, that being and getting to the water is necessary for you at this time. Okay, turtles do not regret. They don't have needs to impress and they never complain. So this card asks you to acknowledge your best environment. And if you find yourself out of your element, look for a better place. Look for a better land or seascape. So it's all about learning the art of happy living. So it sounds to me like it's right in alignment with the other two cards we had here. All right, so if you are picking a number 2, it's about to be your turn. All right, number two. Let's see what you got here. Okay, first card is the 9 of Swords upside down. And then we have the second card is the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so for your health and well-being, for every aspect, for you to develop more spiritually, all of that, it's really time to let go of worry. It's time to go ahead and release all of those things and, you know, give it over to a higher power. Give it over and really start anchoring into your root center and knowing that you are connected to infinite. That doesn't mean sometimes, it means all of the time. You are connected to the infinite and you are supported and loved in so many ways. And so reminding yourself of that rather than worry. Every time something comes up, it's time for you to go like, no, I can make choices instead of worrying. And it feels very much like, you know, some of the things that it's time for you to make choices about are, you know, and it's funny because both of these, number 1 and now number 2, you both have things mentally going on that, and I don't want to be in a derogatory way, we all have things mentally going on. There's a constant conversation happening inside of the mind. And so it's tapping into a greater awareness. And that's how they're making me feel for you. A greater awareness is coming into your life so that you can be more discerning over whether a thought is coming in and it feels like it is making an emotion in your body of anxiety and worry and pressure and constriction, or if it feels expansive. And some of the things that will help you is, instead of the worry, saying to yourself, I am allowed to choose. I enjoy freedom to choose. And so I can check in with my intuition, I can check in with my feeling nature and ask my heart what it is that I would most love in this situation, or what would be the most loving action. You know, like sometimes we don't want to notice something about ourselves. We'd rather worry about it than make a choice to change our health. Or we'd rather worry about it rather than make a choice to end a relationship. You know, but the loving choice, sometimes the loving choice is to stop the worry and to make a choice. that feels good, you know? And sometimes ending that relationship, you know, yes, there's sorrow attached, but most likely if you're thinking about that and that's been a thought that's been going on for a while and you've been worried about it, then it's already where you'd most like to go into leaving it. It's just a fear that's holding you back. So, and I'm not saying that it has to be about a relationship. This also feels very health related as well. So making those choices and letting go of the worry. Okay, and the other part here, the Three of Pentacles, you know, one of the things that you can get off of your to-do list right now is wherever you feel like you need to learn more, or that you need to get better, or that there's some sort of improvement that needs to be made before you are good enough to do X, Y, or Z, that feels like you can go ahead and let that go. You can cross that off the list. You're already good enough, right where you are, okay? And as you lean in to whatever it is that you're doing that feels good to you, that you're worried that you're not good enough at yet, understanding that you're going to keep improving. You never arrive somewhere. You're a work in progress. There's many versions of you. And so it feels like, you know, it's a good time for you to let some of the stress of all that go and maybe get into some things that make you feel good, like doing art or, you know, taking pictures. Or, you know, it feels like there's very artistic, you know, whether it's doodling. My daughter has all of these mandala doodle coloring books, you know, and she gets them done. For me, it takes me, I like hardly even do a page and I'm like, okay, this took for a long time. I have to talk myself into, I'm allowed to sit down here and be creative. Okay, and they make me feel like there's some of that for you. Just enjoy it. Tell yourself it's okay for me to spend an afternoon coloring if I want, because I'm allowed. I don't always have to be doing something that is an improvement or that's taking care of business or that's taking care of the office. Okay? All right, let's see what your spirit guide has to say. You got the sea otter. Oh, look at that guy up there too. Okay, you guys know I need my glasses to read things nowadays. Okay, be the master of playful living. Release expectations and start enjoying every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. Oh, I love this. Okay, so let's look up here with the sea otter. Because, you know, they look like they are nesting, cuddling. Everybody, there's friends around. They're not just alone. And so it seems like a party, right? Okay, this card symbolizes happiness. You are being asked to spontaneous art, how about that, and playful living. Otter people swim in the iconic watery world of their intuition and feelings. Their naturally evolved female protective self might ask them to care for others, especially the young. Otter people are inclusive and welcome the company of family, tribe, and community. They definitely know how to go with the flow. This card symbolizes being a fantastic friend or lover, but also holding on to the people that you love so that you don't drift apart. You have a natural curiosity and look at life from all different angles. Okay, so this card really speaks to your inner child needing that time to play, you know, and that's what we were talking about as far as taken some things off of your to-do list so that you can. Okay, last up is number 3. And so are you guys ready? Bum, bum, bum. Number 3s, let's see what you got. All right, your first card here is the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. And this deck, it's called the Princessa. Then we also have here the Four of Swords. It's funny because I guess this guy's supposed to be a groundhog, but it looked very otter-like, right? Okay, so what needs to be brought to light for your health and well-being? Well, we got the Page of Cups, the Princessa of Cups here. So the most important thing that needs to be brought to light for you is self-love. Is you falling in love with you, of you talking nicer, being nicer. I was visiting with a friend this last week, and I was telling her, you know, one of the most important lessons is to understand how to be nice in your now. To you. It's not a later type of thing. When I lose 10 pounds, then I'll talk nicer to myself. When I, lose these wrinkles, then when I look in the mirror, I'll say, oh, I look good. No. Like, it happens first. Self-love is a practice, and by doing it, everything else transforms. You start liking what you're seeing more because you're practicing loving kindness towards yourself. Okay, so this is really important for this to come to light for you during this time, because it feels like, especially sexually, like this is an important aspect of you that's waking up. Knowing that it's okay for you to be a sexual, beautiful, awesome being just the way you are. You don't have to get to anywhere else. Like, yes, your body's going to move and change and be different. We're always losing cells and making new cells and becoming new. You can't stay the same. It's so hard. So, this is a message to me that you're going to be practicing this. If you're not already, you might already be in the practice of this. Because it feels like, this loving the self is such an important current that's running through your life. And because of it, it feels like there's going to be more love, more opportunities of love, more, more messages of this, more people being loving and kind to you as a byproduct of you getting in the groove of self-love. Okay, so you're going to move and learn. This is going to help you evolve spiritually also. But you're in a beautiful time. And I love this card because I love these. I don't know what kind of trees they are in the background, but these pink trees always make me happy. Like, some people in my neighborhood have these. And when I walk through, I'm just always like, they just make me feel like really happy and alive. And so to me, this card makes me feel that for you. Like, this time of your life over the next couple of weeks is going to be such a joyful waking up. And it's funny because here you have the Four of Swords, and this is what you're ready to take off of your list. And what you're ready to take off of your list is hibernating and being by yourself and thinking that you need more rest, or talking yourself into not feeling good, talking yourself out of being around other people. Okay, because, our brains are designed to protect us, and they will make up lots of things to tell ourselves. Also, the ego does it too, to keep us small. And so this feels like you're going to be breaking through some new fears. And it is going to be different for you to go out and maybe make some friends as an adult that isn't work friends. Or, you know, if you're looking for love, or, you know, making some new friends that are out there in the world rather than on the line, you know, to show up and run into somebody and strike up a conversation for no reason. And not because there's pressure on it, but just because you're out in the world being loving and kind. And that happens as a byproduct of loving and kindness towards yourself. But this card is definitely saying, hey, take off your list all the ways that you're talking yourself into playing small, staying in, telling yourself that you're too frumpy, telling yourself that you don't like how you look, telling yourself that you need to rest. All of that telling yourself is making you tired. So as you're changing the dialogue, as you're working on this, I'm working on me, I'm working on loving me, what's going to happen next for you is scratching all that off the list. Like, I am not these circumstances. I do have energy. If I decide I'm ready to start having some energy, I can change some of my habits and see what I can do to create more of that. Okay, let's see what your spirit message is. Ooh, black bear. I'll show it to you. Guardian. So, gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. Yeah, and you know what? This card was even upside down, and then we had here the page, which, you know, also symbolizes a person. And so, for sure, right now, having a child in your life, or, you know, this might even be an animal, but I definitely feel more child, that, you know, sometimes spending time with them wakes up in ourselves because they haven't fallen out of their love with themselves. They're still, most children are still in that state of liking who they are. So, it will help you notice and wake up that love inside of you, spending time with them. But think about the ways that you can impact this person in a positive way and not instill fear, you know? Okay, so let's look this up. Black bear. Okay. Well, we all know that bears can be grizzly, right? They can, if you see one, it's kind of scary, a big one, right? And so, you know, one of the things is owning your strength, owning that you are ferocious, but are you losing your temper more often than you need to? Is it important for you? Like I said, it's important for you to be kind, nice in your now to you. Okay. The black bear is the consummate mother. She cares for her offspring with devotion. Woe to the one that gets between a mother and a bear. Huge power can roar in a bear, but demands our respect. Bears have calm, gentle demeanors with their young. And as opposed to, you know, they can also be primal and warrior. This is the dual nature of the bear. Bears hibernate in the winter. Here we got another hibernation card. And when they reappear in the spring, they are renewed with energy and wisdom. They are revered for being shamanic messengers from spirit and dream time. Okay, so, you know, this is a call for you to restore harmony in your life by being ferocious about you. And even though there are children and people that you're devoted to and love, You have to love yourself, your own inner child, with that same ferociousness. It's that important. Okay, but it feels very much like this season as we move into spring. The spring equinox, I think, is March 19th this year. As that is happening, you know, it feels like this is going to be a really big time of you coming out of your shell and owning your power a lot more. Okay, I love you guys. This has been so much fun to be here with you. And if you would like to subscribe or share this video, I'd really appreciate it, because I know that there's more people out there that could use a good reading, right? And if you'd like to work with me privately, go head over onto my site, knowellness.com, and you can check out my services and book a session. I still have some openings in March for readings and healing. All right, love ya.